And we're going to say that maybe we've developed, like, done an initial session, and I have some idea, some relationship with them, because it's going to get, it's based on the lecture today, right? It's going to get kind of intense, so I wanted to be realistic that this might not come out in a first session. So maybe I've had a couple sessions with them, so I have a relationship with them, but I may not, this particular thing hasn't happened yet in their relationship while working with me. Okay? Okay. And our usernames. Just for you.
Yeah, I'm Michelle.
I'm Thomas.
Okay. Hi, Michelle and Thomas. How are you doing today?
We had a bad night.
You had a bad
Yeah,
night?
that's an understatement.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What happened?
I can't even talk about it right now. Can you just do it?
So, like the entire rest of the city, we were out watching the Cubs. And it actually started fine. We were just, at a bar, like, in Lakeview, was, having a good evening. And then, they won. It was great, right? After the game, we agreed that we had talked about it before, that we would see, like, if we wanted to go home, or if we were going to stay out. It turned out that I wanted to stay out, she wanted to go home.
Mm-hmm.
He really wanted to stay out.
Well, I did, and I asked you if it was okay if I stayed.
Yeah.
And you said yes.
Yeah.
So, she walked home. It's like 5 blocks from the bar. And
Yeah, 5 blocks, like, by myself. It's dark. People are crazy. Everyone's drunk.
it was not that crazy. People were not, like, they weren't, like,
Okay.
vandalizing anything.
So you walked home,
Yeah.
and then what happened?
Well, I was actually, like, really pissed off, but I didn't want, like, him to know that. So
What were you pissed off about?
he just like jumped to the idea of like still going out when he knew that I had to work in the morning, and it's like you should want to just like we had a good night already. You should just want to come home with me. I don't like we already celebrated. We like went out for like maybe 10 minutes after they won, and I don't know what else he needed to do. And he just like left me alone. Like I'm a woman. Like I shouldn't be just left alone. And he just like didn't. He doesn't realize that when it's happening. So I'm just like thinking of that on the walk home. I'm just like trying to stay calm and trying not to freak out. So I just like left it alone for a little bit.
Okay, so you walked home, and you were really already angry at him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He didn't know that though.
He didn't know that.
I don't know.
I had no idea.
Okay.
I
You thought everything was fine.
Yeah, I thought that we
Because you
talked
had
about it,
agreed.
Right.
Okay.
and it seemed fine. Like I said, it like wasn't like too dangerous. Like the people were pretty happy, and she wanted to go home and get some sleep. And like I don't know, like my team won. Like I just wanted to go out and see people celebrating.
So what happened next? You went home mad, and then you stayed out, and then
Yeah.
what happened?
Okay, so we were like in Lakeview, so I like started walking up Clark towards Wrigley, and it was incredibly packed, as you might imagine,
And loud.
and yeah,
And I tried calling him. I tried not to call him for like 17 minutes. And it like after that I was just like, when are you gonna come home? Like you said it was gonna be like 30 minutes, so I thought he'd be like on his like way home already. So I called him, and it was just too loud. I couldn't hear anything, and it's like, why don't you just go to somewhere where you can talk to me?
Oh, so you picked up.
yeah. So
But you couldn't hear.
well, there were multiple calls, and I picked up the first one,
Okay.
and I couldn't hear, and
Did you say something that you couldn't hear?
yes,
Okay.
I didn't hear that.
but it was.
Oh, you couldn't even hear.
It was so loud.
I
So
don't think he did. I think he's lying.
I hung up, and I sent you a text message, and it did. I mean, I guess it just it wasn't delivering immediately. But like we saw this morning, it was there in your phone.
Oh, but probably didn't get through the list.
I mean,
Probably.
according to her.
Okay, so you sent a text saying you couldn't hear her when she called.
Yep.
And then what happened?
Well, I just thought he was like not coming home or just ignoring me or like just like having more fun without me than if I were there or if you were home. So I just kept calling him.
And this whole time you were really mad.
You just don't know what it's like when you're not home. Like, I just want to hear from him. Like, is that so hard? I just...
Michelle,
I...
you know you're really upset right
No, he just doesn't get it.
Okay. Well, we're going to try to work on helping him get it, okay? Okay. So when you're at home and you're alone, what happens to you? What is it that happens? So Thomas, what I'm going to ask you to do right now is I want you to look at her and I want you to tell him what happens. And I want you to try, I know you're really mad and I know you're really angry, and I'm going to try to understand what else happened for you. But right now, I want you to try and understand. So,
Okay.
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 I'm gonna try to understand you, honey.
Okay, so explain to him what happens.
Can't, Danielle. I can't even talk.
It's too hard. Okay. We'll try again another time. Okay? When you're feeling a little bit more calm. Okay. So can I try to understand what happened next? So when he got home, what happened? You were really mad.
Yeah.
Really upset. Okay. So you come in, and you
Right.
probably don't realize that she's that mad.
I
Right.
mean, we just, I mean, she gets mad at me pretty frequently. But I've been trying to take steps to like resolve that. Like I get very worried about her being mad at me,
Yeah.
and like I double, triple check. Like I cannot, like I asked you multiple times.
Well, let's tell me what happened last time
Okay.
you got home.
So, and I will say, I said I would stay out for half an hour, and I stayed out for about an hour and 15 minutes.
Okay.
So,
Yeah.
like, I guess that's my bad.
Yeah, it is.
But I get home, and I find Michelle. We haven't really talked to you about this. Fuck.
Okay. What did you find?
It's not my fault. I can't control it.
I find Michelle sitting on the floor of the bathroom, holding a fucking bag of razor blades, with her wrists just bleeding all over the fucking tile and bath mat.
It's not my fault.
Is that the first time you've done that? No. Okay. Yeah. And so Thomas, right now, even talking about that gets you really upset.
Yeah, of course my wife is fucking cutting her wrists open.
Right.
It can all be avoided.
So,
Yeah, if you didn't fucking do it.
so what is it about her cutting that makes you so upset?
I mean, I don't, what kind of question is that? I mean, she's hurting herself.
Right.
Honey,
You don't want her to hurt herself.
yeah, I don't want you to hurt yourself.
So tell me, Michelle, what happens when you go in the bathroom and you grab the razors? What were you trying to do?
I don't know. It's just like what I go to
Mm-hmm.
when I just want it to go away. I have, it's like my chest is going to explode, so I need to do something. And that's the only thing. And I know this sounds crazy, but I need him to know how important it is.
How important?
him being there when I need him.
Okay. So, what happens? So right now, he's so upset because he feels so much pain thinking about you hurting yourself. What happens to you when you see him like that?
I think that's why we're here. I don't want this to keep happening.
Okay. So you don't want to cut anymore. Okay.
I feel terrible the next day. I feel terrible right now. I feel so embarrassed.
Okay.
But it's just not my fault, Danielle.
Well, we're gonna work on it. Okay. So Thomas, so how much do you know about cutting and how it works for people?
I mean, I guess I don't know that much about it.
Yeah. It's not something we talk about at dinner parties, right?
No, I mean, like, I can't tell any of my fucking friends. Like, I mean, like, I can't tell my parents. Like, I just,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know,
Yeah, I know. So it's really hard because now you kind of feel like you have all of the burden of that on you,
right?
and
And, like,
you don't want to.
if I, like, don't come home for 15 minutes, like, I might, like, find you, like, bleeding on the bathroom floor. Like, I don't, like, that's so much pressure.
Then why don't you just come home in 15 minutes?
So what he's saying is he feels a tremendous amount of guilt, I think, because he knows that the behavior is connected to something he did. Right.
You should.
So maybe if we find a way for you to feel more secure, right, in a relationship, then you won't have to go to that. So Thomas, so the other thing is with cutting, right, is that's a behavior that usually is about people regulating their emotions. So she's not trying to kill herself.
I've told you that.
Right.
Yeah, but what if you- what if you
scary.
did?
It's right, but it's scary for him.
Like-
And what if you did cut in the wrong way or too deep, or
Yeah.
you could really actually harm yourself
Yeah.
much more severely. But I'm trying to help you understand the behavior, so it's to help her regulate her emotions,
Sure.
right?
Yeah,
That's exactly.
that would be great.
Well, but so that's what we're going to try to do is I'm going to try to help her regulate her emotions more, so she doesn't have to go to cutting.
Okay.
But but what happens is what the trigger for her is you not coming home when she thinks you're going to, right? Or when
Yeah.
you're at home alone. So what is it that you think he's doing?
I have so many thoughts, Danielle. Like, the worst. I imagine the worst. I just...
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know. It's like, today it sounds irrational to think that way. Right?
Okay.
But in the moment, I think he's never coming home.
Is that what you
I think he left me. Like, he just doesn't want me anymore.
right?
And it's, like, hard to feel all the time. I don't want to do that anymore.
Right. So has there been a period in time when the two of you have not felt that way? Where you've not felt insecure like that?
When we first met.
Right before we got married.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we
Because
got,
he was all about me. Like, he gave me everything that I feel like I deserve.
we met in college. We were in the same major. We had the same friend group. It was, it was really easy to spend all of our time together.
Mm-hmm.
And, and I was crazy about her. And I still am crazy about you. You scare me when you do shit like this. And, so we met, we were 19 years old. We graduated. And, we got married about a year out. And, we were both, working at some odd jobs. But then, I got a full-time job that necessitates me being out of the house from 7:30 in the morning until sometimes 7 or 8 in the evening.
Like all the time.
Honey, I'm just trying to, I'm trying to support, you talk about, what you deserve, and, you want, you deserve to be supported, that's, I want to do that for you, and, I feel like I'm being punished.
So, does it make you feel differently hearing her say that she wants to stop? She doesn't want to cut it down. But she's committed.
Yeah.
She's committed to doing something different.
I mean, it makes me feel good, but, I don't know if I can, believe it right away.
Right. Well, it's going to take her some time to try to change that behavior. How long have you been doing that, Michelle? Like, is it before you even met Thomas? Yeah.
I didn't know until after the wedding.
Mm-hmm.
It's not like one of the first things you want to talk about,
And probably when you were happier, you weren't doing it. So when the two of you were happy and doing well, you probably weren't cutting, so you wouldn't have known because, and maybe you thought you wanted to do it again, right? So you didn't think you were hiding a secret because you didn't think you were going to do it again.
Right. We had 4 good years together before I knew.
Right. So, but when you hear him talk like this, so it's so clear to me that he's very committed to you. Right.
Yeah.
And that it sounds like a lot of your fears that come up for you when he's not in the house, if you actually check the facts later, do they ever support the fears that you have?
But I just need reminders.
Okay.
Just tell me every day. He just doesn't get it.
I think he feels like he's already doing all that, and so it's confusing to him, and he feels then like that he can't do more. Am I?
Yeah, I mean, I hope you know how much I love you, and I try, but sometimes I feel like I'm beholden to my phone. If I, don't answer a text message from you, within 10 minutes, there are literally 50 waiting for me.
That's what marriage is supposed to be.
Marriage is supposed to be what?
We're each other's everything, and you're there when I need you. What am I supposed to do if he was not talking to me?
Are there times that maybe he's just not able to talk to you? You don't have to do with how he feels about you. He can still love you and not answer or call in 10 minutes. Those two things can both be true, right?
Yeah. Just in the moment, it doesn't feel like that.
Right, it's hard for you to, when I say it, it probably sounds very logical, and you can agree, but emotionally, that's not what it feels like to you.
How do you think it feels for me to be in a meeting with the creative director and a new client for 45 minutes and spend the entire time wondering if I'm going to have 3 enraged voicemails from you, and if you've called every secretary in the building, and maybe you're sitting at home hurting yourself, that's I don't think that's not marriage, that, or that's not what marriage should be.
So,
I don't want to be like this.
I know. So then, when this happens after she cut, right, and you found her on the floor in the bathroom, what happened then? What did you do?
He was really, really nice, and he took me to bed, and
He took care of you.
yeah, it was really nice.
Did you feel better then?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it made you feel more secure.
I know how to clean her up now. Make sure it's not too deep. And
It's probably really
and,
painful for you to see that.
I watched I went online and I looked about how I know whether or not God, she needs to go to the emergency room. She did, thank fucking God.
But it's really scary for you.
Yeah.
But it was fine. He got me my favorite ice cream.
So, but let's think about this for a second, Michelle. What you want is closeness and you want security, right? And you look at him now, how he's responding, right? What do you think it's actually doing to your relationship?
I don't like to think about it.
I know, but we have to. So it's kind of like short-term versus long-term thing, right? So in the short term, it makes you feel very loved and taken care of, but long-term, it's going to do a lot of damage to your relationship.
Yeah, I'm starting to see that.
So maybe what we need to work on is a different way of getting care and attention from him, right? So I don't want you to have to escalate to the level that you cut yourself, and I know you did that because you were really emotionally distraught. But then he comes in and takes care of you, and then you feel really close to him, and then you feel secure. But I want you to feel really close to him and have security, not because you self-harmed yourself.
Okay. Me too.
Okay. So, I think what we want to do is try to come up with some ways that you can feel close to one another when you have to do your part, which is we have to help you develop a different behavior and response when you're that emotionally dysregulated about him.
Okay.
So,
It's gonna be hard, isn't it?
yeah, I think it is going to be hard at first, and we're going to have to be patient with her, Thomas, in trying to change this behavior. But I also think that I want you two to be connected around something positive, right?
Yeah.
So,
I really want to try.
so tell me something that the two of you actually like. Did you guys have a date night where you do something special together?
Not really.
Okay, well that's interesting because you used to spend a lot of time together and do a lot together, and then he started working a lot. So is it just that you've become sort of overwhelmed at work?
I mean, I am overwhelmed at work. Sometimes spending time with you is a lot of pressure.
Well, let's come up with a way that you can spend time together that doesn't feel like pressure, but it's about connecting. Okay? So what's something that the two of you like to do together?
We like to go salsa dancing.
Yeah.
How often do you do that?
We haven't in a while.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's kind of like,
And did you used to do that regularly? How often did you do it before?
Like 3 times a week.
Oh, wow. Do we think we can get that back to 1 time a week? At least right now? Yeah, what's keeping you from going 3 times a week? I mean, that might be a lot with your work, but
sure. I mean, some of it's work and you know, when it started, it was pretty special for us. You know, like,
But then he started dancing with other girls and stuff, so.
and I mean, I think that's part of what you do. It's like a social thing. There's like,
do you dance with other people?
Yeah, but.
Okay, so you both dance with other people.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, I only have eyes for you,
Yeah.
and I tell you that.
Well, let me ask this: do you have to dance with other people?
I mean,
Is
it'd be
that part of the
kinda
culture
weird.
that you
It'd be
have to?
kind of weird not to.
It would be.
And like honestly, like about 7 months ago, I like left work at 5 o'clock on a Tuesday evening so that we could go salsa dancing. It was fine. And you know, like I was like happy to do it. I like worked like extra hard so that like I like had met all of my deadlines early. We came home, we went out, and we were dancing, and I was like trying to only dance with her, but
like I danced with like some other woman, and then a second time, and then she started like screaming at me in front, like literally screaming, like in front of like a whole room of like 30, 40 people, and like
That's why we haven't gone.
yeah, and I was embarrassed, like
We can just go somewhere else.
But I think, do you think you can handle him? If it's part of the culture of salsa dancing that you dance with other partners, or you might be able to handle him dancing with other people. So I don't want to set you up for failure for something, but I want this to be a positive experience for the two of you. So, is there something else that you could do that would make you feel close and be not likely to be a trigger?
Well, definitely something alone then.
Okay.
Yeah. We used. Well, I guess I was thinking of like when we used to do trivia in college. It's not exactly alone.
Yeah, but it's less likely. Maybe that'd be less likely to be. You mean trivia where you would do it
Yeah,
in a
like
bar?
we could go
with-
like
yeah,
you know,
but
bar
that
trivia
probably
with, like
would
a
be
few.
less triggering because he's not going to be dancing with anyone and he's sitting next to you.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
we're a good team.
We're
Okay.
pretty good.
Okay. Good. So can we agree that you're going to do trivia night one night next week before I see you again?
Yeah.
Okay.
Could
Or
go on a
sometime
long
between
walk.
this after as well.
We don't do that anymore.
Okay. So before I see you next week, you're going to do a trivia night, and then after trivia night, you're going to go on a long walk. Okay. And then Michelle, what I want you to do is if you get triggered this week at all and you feel like you're going to cut, I want you to have a replacement behavior. So I want you to hold ice instead. That might be really hard for you to do. And also, where are the razor blades?
We have a few spots.
You're going to have to bring them to me next week. Right? You're going to have to go home and give them to Thomas, and he's going to have to put them somewhere where you can't find them, and then you guys are going to bring them to me next week.
That's a good idea.
She hides them in little Ziploc
Yeah.
bags.
So I want you,
And
you
I
have to commit right now that you're going to give
promises
up all the razor blades because
Danielle, she
too easy
promises
for you.
that she's done, and then
I
I
know.
find another bag.
I know. And so this is going to take us time because this is an overlearned behavior that she's developed. And so what we're trying to do is we're trying to control the stimulus that's connected with cutting as much as possible. It's going to be hard for her at first. So it's not going to be like I'm not saying that she's never going to cut again because I'm putting these things in place. I'm saying we're working on it. Right? So you're going to give up your razor blades. Okay. I want you, if you get that emotionally dysregulated, I want you to do ice. Ice is really intense. It has an intense sensation. It doesn't work as well as cutting, and I know that, but at least it's something that you can go to, right? And then as we keep working, we'll keep figuring out other things you can do, right? And you feel that way.
Okay.
And I want you to try to remember, I mean, yes, it makes you feel better in the moment, but it's doing more damage to you and to your relationship.
I'm starting to see that. I want to lose him.
Right. And I don't want you to have to get security by cutting. Do you guys have, I'm good. You good?
Yeah.
You guys were like really good. Like,
Yeah.
You were good. You were good. Good acting going on. Do you guys have questions?